viewers, this is Monica Bachchan and you are watching Meteorologic PMS YouTube channel. The cruelty of the global pandemic seems limitless. I hope you're keeping well by staying indoors and go out only when it is necessary. Today we will be interviewing Mr. Ranjan Dhar, Chief Marketing Officer at ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel India. Ranjan is having over 24 years of experience in steel industry and is also co-chair ASSOCHAM for Iron and Steel Division. I would like to welcome you, Mr. Ranjan Dhar.
Thank you, Monica, and I wish health and safety to all the viewers of this program today. Thank you.
So, to start with, I would like to first congratulate ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel for completing 1.5 years in India. I want to understand what were the major challenges faced by the company and how did the company overcome those challenges?
I think this journey of 1.5 years, as you know, this company was acquired by ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel in December 2019. And soon after that, that is in the month of March 2020, we had the first wave of the pandemic and the severe lockdown which the country went through. But I would say the resilience of this company from past and also at the current level with the new ownership of ArcelorMittal and Nippon Steel. This acquisition was one of the most matured, balanced, well-managed, and exemplarily executed acquisition with least amount of disruption, with great amount of synergies, both from ArcelorMittal side and the Nippon Steel side, while keeping the core of the company, the earlier company, intact, and on top building the prowess of the world leaders, ArcelorMittal and Nippon Steel. The challenge was also the lockdown, which happened in March. In the month of April, we had to take the operations down due to the safety of our people. So that was the prime concern. Then we quickly ramped up in the month of May to full operations. And post that, we have been running all full. The good part is that we had immense learning in the wave one of the pandemic, which kept us in good stead in the phase two and this pandemic wave two, which happened this year. And we had a very minimal disruption whatsoever because the preparedness was very high and we had put all the learnings of wave one and we're totally prepared to handle the unprecedented wave two. We hope that this is the last wave that we have to deal with.
For that, I like to congratulate you because ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel entered in a very difficult phase, yet you have overcome successfully. Ranjanji, AMNS India has been a major contributor in various infrastructure projects in India. Recently, you have executed 155-kilometer Mumbai-Nagpur-Jharsuguda pipeline project. Would you like to share a little detail about the project, please?
Yeah, so before the details, I would like to say that this company at Hazira, ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel now and the earlier company, has been one of the major supplier of API grade steel in the country. One of the major. We were the highest quantity supplier of API grades in the country. So in the earlier phase, we did not have the pipe mill at some stage, and now we have our own pipe mill also. So before that, and even today, we have supplied large quantity of API steel for this marquee project. This MNJPL project that is that we have executed just now is 155 kilometers. We have also bid for the phase two of this project, which is 170 kilometers, and then there will be phase three, which will be 184 kilometers. So, and apart from that, in last couple of years, we have done oil and gas pipeline from our own pipe mill to the tune of around 150 to 200,000 tons. So we are one of the prime supplier to all the marquee oil and gas projects, be it by GAIL or IOCL or NGC, all the public sector undertakings. And we have done even overseas.
Absolutely. And since MNS is achieving several milestones, one of it is that, I have read somewhere about the compact strip production plant in the world with three caster. Could you enlighten us with its advantages and what exactly it is?
So it is a unique CSP mill. Usually, the compact strip mills are fed by two casters. This is a unique mill which is fed by three casters. It is a sight to behold. Anybody who goes to the plant, you will see how the tunnel furnace is feeding to one strip mill. The three tunnel furnace are feeding to three casters through one tunnel furnace is feeding to one strip mill. It is a sight to behold. Basically, the advantage is productivity, because if you're running a two caster strip mill versus a three caster strip mill, technically you should have a 30% more productivity. So between 25-30% more productivity it gives. It is one of the most productive CSP mill worldwide.
And what are your suggestions to enhance steel demand in India? With the global price skyrocketing, how do you foresee the domestic market in near future, Ranjanji?
See, the price of steel is cyclical, as everybody knows, and usually, if you see in at the each 5 years interval, it goes for a structural change. If you see before 2000, the year 2000, the price were ranging between $250 to $300, then $400 to $500, $600, $700. We are seeing a phase now which is around $1,000 phase. Yes, US is around $1,600, and Europe is around $1,200. But say between $1,000 $1,200 is a new phase. Whether it will stay here, let us see. Because it has been staying over in this range for last 6-8 months. We will see whether it continues to stay in this range. But I see a structural shift in the price point which has happened currently. So in relation to that, we have to see the entire pack, not only the price of finished steel, but the entire pack of the entire raw material basket. In 2020, same time, iron ore was running around $55 to $60. Today, it is already over $205, $210. So the iron ore has also gone up. The steel prices have gone up. Looks like a structural shift, but we will see. In India, also, the price of steel is a derivative of what is happening globally. So always look at, my request to all is always look at Indian prices in relation. The price have to be also with reference to something. So in reference to the global prices, we have to look at the Indian prices. And I've said this earlier that Indian customers are today in an advantageous position in buying locally, because the price available from the local mill is at a discount to the international benchmark. Even today, even with all the increases which have happened, it is at a discount to the global benchmark. So from that perspective, the users of India are today benefited. How to increase the steel consumption, it is a debate. I think it needs a change of the mindset. A lot of our infrastructure development in the country has to happen in a steel intensive way. Because if you see the high-rise building we're still doing in concrete, it takes time to build those buildings, as opposed to a steel building which can be done in 6 months to 1 year. A concrete building takes 3 years to 4 years. All the bridges and all the flyovers, everything can be done in steel. I think the per capita consumption of the country of steel will only go up if we do a steel intensive infrastructure development in the country. Because if India has to migrate towards 5 trillion economy, I firmly believe it can only migrate with infrastructure development, and that infrastructure has to be steel intensive.
Certainly, Mr. Ranjan. In fact, I have done several programs, webinar and conferences on the same topic. How can we increase the steel consumption? And we have always zeroed down on infrastructure projects. You have rightly said it. And coming on to the steel prices, which you just said that now the domestic buyers are preferring to buy from the local market than the imported steel. My question is, imports of steel into India are still around 5 million tons in spite of such higher prices. And decelerating demand? What are the prime reasons, as in why do you see people are still
So
importing?
if you see today, steel 5 billion, but it is going down. If you see the last couple of month average, it is averaging around 3 million now, 3 million to 4 million now. See, barring some select sector, for example, some API grade or some higher grade wherein there could be some price advantage. Today, nobody is can. I mean, it is not commercially viable to import because of the price differential which exists in India today. Nobody can buy steel or import steel today and make money on it because the availability of steel in India is at a lower price as opposed to the international. Even with some correction which can happen in FOB China level, even if you derive that into the landed cost in India, still the gap is around 7 to 8,000 rupees after all the increases which have been done in the country. So therefore, it is not viable. Some amount of steel will always come into some mismatch in the grade or something. But largely, for commercial reasons, no steel is getting imported in the country.
As ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel India, are you facing problems with quality of imports and import of defected steel and also import from FTA countries?
Uh, it happens. It is not happening currently. It is an issue which I think we have represented as a steel industry also to Government of India. But in the current cycle, it might not be too much of an issue because, as I said, that the steel prices in the country are at discount to the international benchmark. But when it evens out, then those challenges come, and I think the country needs to address that sooner rather than later.
AMNS India is dedicatedly serving the country in pandemic by providing COVID care. With third wave preparation ongoing, what all arrangements have you done and what all preparations are in pipeline?
First of all, I hope and pray that third wave doesn't happen. But the way we are operating is, and I think the way even country, I hope, is operating is that we have to be prepared now for all eventualities, and that is our mindset. We are not lowering our guard in terms of being prepared. We will be perpetually in the ready mode for any wave that might happen. So we are keeping COVID appropriate protocol permanently in place. No lowering of guard at all our workplaces. And in fact, I should through your channel, I should say that the workplaces are actually safer today across industries are safer today than the residences. I think the people, all of us, need to take care when we are away from the workplaces, because as soon as all of us enter workplaces, we automatically follow all the SOPs, all the COVID protocols. But when we are back home, that is when we, let the guard down, and the danger starts there. We have renewed our focus. We are doing various education sessions with across our organization to educate people on how to be permanently COVID appropriate even when you are away from workplace. For example, I'll just tell you.
Has opened a makeshift hospital also in 72 hours, 650 beds.
Yeah, that was the first in the country. We used to, earlier hear about such hospitals or such building coming outside India. This was a tremendous job done by our team at Hazira. In 72 hours, this 250 bed hospital was made ready, which has already been extended to around 400 bed or 600 beds, and further on need it can extend to even 1,000 beds. And it was appreciated by all, including CM of Gujarat, when our chairman was also present on that ceremony, Mr. Ellen Mittal. And it was a tremendous job done at a very right time, and in 72 hours, just beat that.
This is phenomenal, and I would like to congratulate AMNS and to you also for this great work. You are serving the country and the people in this pandemic while continuing the business at par with the industry standards. So with this,
it was a teamwork. Excellent job done by the team at Hazira under the leadership of Mr. Mittal, Mr. Oman, and everybody else.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ranjitha, for taking our time for this interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you. I appreciate it.